This is Gerardo Del Real here from the 2021 Precious Metal Summit in beautiful Beaver Creek. Joining me today is the CEO of Soar Financial Group, Mr. Kai Hoffman. Kai, it's been a few years.
It's been a while. It's great to see you again, Gerardo.
It's great to see you as well. How have you been?
Been well. Been quite busy entertaining and creating opportunities in this market. And the market offered some opportunities, so it was good. It's fun to fill some voids.
Let's talk about it. We haven't caught up in a few months at the very least. Tell me about those opportunities. What have you been looking at? What have you been personally invested in? And what are you looking at here moving forward?
Yeah, good question. So you might have seen that we've done a lot more online, obviously. We had to. So we transitioned, started doing interviews as well online. It's great. But also financing-wise, we've been tracking the market quite well. We've been doing quite a few private placements, not as of late, because that died down quite a bit.
Sure.
But last 12 to 18 months, we've been quite active.
Yeah.
Like we bought positions, developers also, but also early stage juniors, like companies that are just drilling. So we've been active in that sector as well, just keeping ourselves entertained a bit. Right?
Are you still commodity agnostic, or are you really focused on, is it copper centric, is it gold centric, or is it just share structure, people, assets, and teams, right?
All of the above.
Okay.
So we're quite agnostic when it comes to that, but mostly focus gold, silver, copper. I'd say that's where the expertise lies, where I'd say, okay, that's where I try to have an advantage.
Right.
Right. When it gets too specific, like battery metals, and I do exclude copper from that.
Sure.
Like when it comes down to lithium graphite, like I feel a bit lost.
Okay.
Because also I've been a burnt child. Like the years 2015, 2016, there was a lot of garbage around.
Sure.
Fortunately, we haven't seen that come back yet. So the good companies prevailed. We've seen a couple of takeovers in the lithium space, so it's good to see. But I'm waiting for Howe and Bay Street to catch on and come up with some more garbage. So a bit cautious in that regard.
Okay. A gold company, what do you look for in a gold company? For the audience that may not be familiar with you, or the audience that is familiar with you and wants to know, what's Kai Hoffman's checklist look like when he evaluates a deal?
You mentioned a couple of things. So people management is key, but assets, of course, as well. And I want to be able to make money. Sure. All right. So it's okay. Like if you have a 250 million market cap, that might not be for me. Right. Because where's it going to go? Sure. Like what's the upside? A typical mid-tier gold producer might be trading at $500 million. And that's without, and that's not even factoring in dilution, additional financings. So that's not for us. So I prefer the smaller scale of, or the smaller end of the scale, I guess. So I do like the junior explorers, but I want to see a clear route for it to become something. Got it. So that means management needs to be capable at least to take it to a certain point, meaning feasibility study, before maybe handing off the reins. Excellent. So that's what we like to see. We love drill plays. Yeah. I'm not a geologist, but I do understand the upside in drill plays, right? So we don't mind playing that as well. We look at that, and there's some opportunities out there, and the market right now is just granting us pretty much, like it's like shooting fish in the barrel, it feels like a bit. So you kind of feel the way I do. It sounds like the opportunities are phenomenal, right? I'm buying stocks right now that should be trading at multiples of where they're at. I can't believe I'm getting the prices I'm getting. Yeah. So we've been talking with some of the investors out here as well, and just the PE ratios of some of the producers. Yeah. You don't have to go high risk right now. You don't. Look at Barrick. The dividend yield is 4.8% right now. Yeah. You'd be stupid to buy a junior explorer. I'm sorry to say that, right? And but with that return, that's what attracts the general investors at some point again. Sure. And we're being handed that opportunity pretty much free of charge right now. Like the downside is fairly limited, unless you believe that gold is going to crash. Right. But at some point, then the PE ratio is 4, so right, like instead of 2.5. And you can do both, right? You can buy the producer and you can buy an explorer, and then you can hedge your bets a bit, right? Like, absolutely. But the producers, especially mid-tiers, are dirt cheap right now. We see PE ratios of 2 to 3, right? And that's worth collecting or accumulating right now. Excellent. Jurisdictions, are there places that you favor right now? Jurisdiction I can easily travel to, so that still makes a difference. We are still in a pandemic, so it's not that easy yet to travel maybe South America. Sure. They're great assets down there, but of course I like going to Canada. I've been on a bunch of site visits the last few weeks, so that makes it a lot more grabbable. Like, what do you call it? Tangible. Tangible, right? Yeah. There you go. Right, so you can do that, and that's what I prefer, and I do see still a lot of M&A opportunity in North America. So, do you see producers with those rich balance sheets coming for some of these exciting explorers that have good assets already and robust reserve bases? Yes and no. No, meaning I just recently saw a Kitco interview, and I have to quote the competition there, but Mark Bristow was on it. Okay. And it was really informative because he said, organically, we have 5 to 7 years, we can just do and explore our own stuff. Yeah. So he doesn't have to do anything. Sure. I'm sure he's going to be opportunistic if the right opportunity comes along. But the majors don't have to do anything right now. That's why we haven't seen much yet, because at $1,800 gold, all their projects are pretty much making money. Absolutely. And it's worth that brownfield exploration. Okay. And that's the easiest. Okay. Right? And those are the easiest and cheapest ounces for them to add.
What commodity do you see the most M&A happening in?
It'd be interesting to see what happens in the copper space.
Yeah. And
like
Beaver, I think you referenced that, right? You said
right?
copper gold is what
so copper gold and like Bristow, like that's what I mean. Like he might be opportunistic, but when it comes to that,
Bristow's also cautious, yeah.
Right? But you need size. But I do see the copper space. There could be a little more action. Also on the junior end, so there's a couple of copper gold juniors we're looking at as well that do have some upside and production scenarios or potential production scenarios as well.
Okay.
So
you're CEO of Soar Financial Group. You wear multiple hats. How can people get a hold of you?
Yeah, soarfinancial.com is the website. Twitter is the best as well. Like we're really active there at Soar Financial. Just follow us there. We've recently been on site visits, as I mentioned, so we just posted quite a bit of content from that and our impressions. Excellent. So follow us there.
SOAR, everybody.
Exactly. Not the sore throat. It's soaring like an eagle. So
Kai, pleasure.
Gerard, it's so good to see you again.
All right, great catching up.
Thanks.